Hey guys, what's up? It's Zain. I know my other live stream the other day was kind of windy and it was hard for people to hear me. So I ended up not posting it. So I'll make another video about what I was talking about yesterday. But today I just wanted to briefly talk about the nuances of law enforcement and the criminal justice system of America, right? And how weird it is. So I want you to hear me out. Listen to what I'm saying. This is so in depth. I don't know if some of y'all would get it, but what I was thinking was, like, when you step outside your house, when you step on the streets, not your private property, or let's say even if you live in an apartment, right? You step outside your apartment and you're on the street. Just by you being on the street, you know, you're subjecting yourself to so many jurisdictions, so many law enforcement jurisdictions that have authority over you and can arrest you potentially, right? So let's say you step out of private property, right? You step outside your house, you step on the street. Just by you stepping on the street, you're subjecting yourself to at least 5 jurisdictions, 5 law enforcement jurisdictions that can arrest you, all right? So let's say you live in a big state or any state. Let's say you live in Texas, right? So just by you stepping on the street, you've subjected yourself to arrest by the state trooper, because they can arrest you anywhere. The sheriff of the county you're in. There's 254 counties in Texas. The local city police, which you're in, right? The local city police can arrest you. That's 3 right there. The constable can potentially arrest you. That's 4 right there. And usually they have marshals too. Your city has another arresting authority called the marshals. So you have subjected yourself to 5, and that's not even federal authorities. The FBI can arrest you also, but that's for a federal crime. So think about it. Just by you walking somewhere on the street, or you step outside your private property, how messed up this is. It's not essentially messed up, but just check out how many law enforcement authorities have jurisdiction over you in one setting, right? So again, the state trooper, your city police, the sheriff, the constable, right? And another law enforcement agency. If your city usually has another law enforcement agency, like my city, I live in Carrollton, Texas, it's the marshals, right? And let's not forget, if you're at a university, they have university police also, right? They're real police officers. So if you're step into a university, you're essentially subjecting yourself to 6 jurisdictional authorities 6 jurisdictional law enforcement authorities, right? And let's say you go to, you ride the bus a lot, like Metro or DART. In Dallas, there's DART, Dallas Area Rapid Transport Authority, right? You're subjecting yourself to DART police also. They can arrest you. If you commit a crime nearby, even if you're not riding the bus, even if you're loitering around DART property or Metro property, they have authority to arrest you also. So just look at how many authorities you're subject to just by you stepping outside your home, your private property, right? Because your home is your private property. Let's say you walk outside your front yard and step on the street, right? You step on the street, bam, as soon as you take that step, you're subjected to arrest or detained by at least 5 authorities, right? And that's not forgetting federal authority, right? If I was to count the federal authorities, like they have the federal rangers, they have ATF, those guys can arrest you also. But are they going to be on city property usually? Probably not. But let's not forget, if you are, they can also come after you, right? But it's for a federal crime, so I'm not even going to get into that. So just remember, guys, you're subjecting yourself to a lot of jurisdictions just by you being in a city. Don't forget that just because you live in a city, just not the city police you're not just subjecting yourself to city police. You're subjecting yourself to a lot of authorities, right? So essentially it works out like this. The little city you're in, it's like the little reality speech I like to talk about. A lot of people are stuck in this little bitty city. Their reality revolves around this little bitty city that they're in, and then of the little bitty state they're in, of the little bitty country they're in, right? If you want to break it down further, the little bitty city breaks down to the little bitty zip code. The little bitty zip code breaks down to your street, right? And a lot of people are just stuck in, they think that the world is that small, right? They forget that it's a huge world. Everything's mobile these days. everything is surrounding us. Everything, like, the world is really big, right? So just, I want you to figure out that by being subject to stepping outside your home, you're subjected to a lot of jurisdictional authorities that can potentially detain you, question you, talk to you, any law enforcement authority, right? And I just listed a few. So just remember that. And that's pretty much all I wanted to touch up on. If you guys do have any questions while I'm making a live stream or want to comment in between, I'll be sure to shout you out and shout out your comment or answer your question to the best of my abilities. Note that I can't give legal advice. All these videos are strictly informational, right? And this was a great topic I just wanted to touch up on. I want you to know that in the United States, just how the government is set up, you're subject to a lot of law enforcement authorities just by you stepping outside your property, your private property, and taking one step on the street. You've literally opened yourself up potentially to being arrested by your state police, right? I'll say it again: state police, city police, right? Sheriff, because they're county-wise, constables, right? And another authority that your city usually uses, like our city uses the marshals, right? I know there's federal marshals and state marshals, so just by you doing that, you're subjected to so many authorities in the United States. So yeah, it's a lot of these jurisdictional issues you can raise, your lawyer can raise it. So just be careful about that. Be careful about know what jurisdiction you're subjected to, what's going on. Be careful. And all of these jurisdictions essentially work together, especially if you're in the same state. They likely will work together and like to work together. But yeah, like I said, if anybody has any questions, comments, or wants me to give them a shout out, they have a question about anything criminal, I'll try to do my best to answer your question. But all right, guys, peace. I am out. See y'all.